Welcome back to Lombardi Sweep. Happy New Year and happy final week of the NFL season. Luke, you look confused. What looks confusing?
Yeah, it's like a new platform on our on Restream here.
Really?
Unless this is my first, this is the first show that I've done with my new computer, so maybe that's all. I guess I haven't updated my
Probably.
browser on my old computer in like probably 12 years. So everything's all new to me here.
True. Yeah, we're not on Windows XP anymore.
Right.
We've
I
upgraded
wait,
a
I
little
got
bit.
to about my old computer. I got to about like year three, and I'm like, well, I'm so far back on updates now. It's going to take forever to do it, and that just kind of tumbled into 9 years later. Needed a new computer.
Yeah, I definitely get that. I need to buy one as well for at least a new laptop, just because like it hurts to use.
Yeah.
It's so slow and then it overheats immediately. So it
Yep.
actually like burns me a little bit. So I am there with you. And speaking of burning us, let's talk about the Green Bay Packers as we roll into Week 18 here. The Packers have one more game. Then we had the playoffs. We have officially clinched the playoffs. Thank you, Detroit Lions. Thank you, Minnesota Vikings, who also happen to be the opponent this week. Probably won't be talking about that matchup too much, and we'll tell you about that a little bit later. But let's start off with the biggest news in Green Bay, the biggest new signing in Green Bay. The Packers have needed a cornerback for, multiple years. That was probably one of our biggest needs. Am I still here with you? I've been glitching a little bit here.
Yeah, you're good.
Still good. The Packers sign all-pro cornerback from the Dallas Cowboys. Now we had Micah Parsons. Now we have Trayvon Diggs. And I think there's a lot of questions with Trayvon Diggs. I mean, we can talk about how his performance is this year, but in reality, he is the only person who's a true cornerback one in the NFL. He has experience as a Pro Bowler, as an All-Pro, as all of that. But yes, he is not necessarily playing as the same player as he has been. If we have been, as everyone has in Green Bay, we'd love to tear down the Cowboys, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we are very much willing to tear down the Cowboys and say how bad their pass defense is, maybe
We'll
we
get one.
shouldn't be super excited that we got their cornerback. But let's just talk about Trayvon Diggs a little bit and look into how he's performed this year, because he's had injuries. And I think overall, maybe it's not fully fair to take all of these numbers as black and white as they are. But according to Pro Football Focus, which I take nothing into, as everybody knows, he is ranked as cornerback 135 this season. Not the best, considering there's 32 teams, potentially 3 starting cornerbacks for each team. If you had to guess, and I'm telling you right now, he's had a terrible season.
Yeah,
What do
agreed.
you think? What do you think his passer rating is when targeted? Quarterback's
It's,
passer rating.
I would imagine it's probably pretty high. Like it's got to be 110-ish.
Yeah, let's go higher.
Really?
Yeah, let's keep going.
120?
Let's keep going.
Not 140.
Do you know what pass rating goes up to?
158.3.
Okay, guess that one.
158.3.
He's given up a perfect pass rating when targeted this year. They said it couldn't be done, but he has found a way to do it.
How does that work?
I don't know.
So he's given up a completion every time he's been targeted?
I got his stats. So again, I think all of these numbers are a little bit bullshit, especially
Yeah.
pass rating, especially Pro Football Focus grades, especially all of that. But again, he's been limited to 8 games this year. He's been targeted 20 times in those 8 games. So
Okay.
not targeted a ton, but still a decent amount. Of those 20 targets, he has given up 16 catches, 286 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he's committed 3 penalties.
Okay.
Not great.
No.
No, not the best. But even when I read that, I'm like, is that really a perfect passer rating? He's forced a
Right.
couple of incompletions. I don't know. Regardless, he hasn't been great. With all of that being said, though, he walks into Green Bay. Maybe it's my dislike for Keyshawn Nixon. I don't know. I have more trust in Trayvon Diggs than anybody else.
Well, right. So Green Bay signing Trayvon, obviously, right? You mentioned off the bat, right? The Packers have been looking for a corner, it feels like, since Charles Woods and Al Harris days, right?
Yeah.
Um, is this more of a like he's been an all pro, like let's take a shot. Let's take a guy that has proven that he's done it before. Maybe he hasn't in a while. He's had some injuries since then. He's had some inconsistent play. Maybe he can be that, the cornerback one to, lock down the DJ Moores and the AJ Browns and the Pukas of the world in the playoffs. Or is it more of we just need bodies at corners because our current guys just don't cut it?
I think it's a combination of everything. I mean, he's been there and done that. He has performed as one of the top players in the league. So why not take a chance on somebody who could potentially do that? I mean, it's really right now, it's no risk, all reward, right?
Right.
But on top of that, you need somebody who can come in right away, start, play right away. And he has experience against everyone the Packers are going to run into at this point. So regardless of if he plays this week or not, I think it would be a very good decision to put him out there and just see what he can do and just get, as much tape for yourself on him as possible. Because it's cornerback, right? Like, you don't really need to know anything. Put him on an island and let's just see what he can do against Rosmer and the Vikings, right?
Right. You just playing man-up defense. You're playing a deep zone.
And again, it's fully not fair to him. But put him on Justin Jefferson. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, for sure.
Why not? And if he performs well, great. If he doesn't perform well, then we have that information rolling into wildcard weekend. Because this weekend, nothing matters. Packers win or lose are the 7th seed in the NFC. I can only imagine we will not play a bunch of our starters. I know we'll get into the injury report. Jordan Love's listed as a full participant, but I don't know why we would play him and a bunch of our other guys.
Just to put a bow on this Trayvon Diggs thing, just for understanding, just to simplify it. Green Bay, maybe this is more than simplifying it. Maybe this is taking a little step out. Green Bay paid Keyshawn Nixon a good amount of money to be their cornerback and take him out of the position that he does best in kick returner.
Yep.
And are now probably replacing him as cornerback one as we head into the real, now we're into the season, right? We're into the postseason. That doesn't really bode well for Keyshawn Nixon, considering that he was an all-pro like 2 of the last 4 years and like the best kick returner in the league. Just say, no, I don't want to be a kick returner anymore. I want to be the quarterback one. I want to take on the big role, get torched all year, and then have your replacement come in for the playoffs.
Correct. It doesn't bode well. To be the most optimistic on Keyshawn Nixon, we can just say, sure, you're the cornerback one. What's that mean? Nothing. And we need a cornerback two anyway. Because regardless, even if Keyshawn Nixon is an all-pro, which he's not, but let's just say he's an all-pro cornerback one, we still need a cornerback.
Fair.
So regardless, I mean, we need bodies, we need talent, we need everything. And Diggs, again, has not been playing well. I'm not even going to say like up to his standard. He hasn't been playing good or even average, but maybe it's injuries. Maybe it's the rest of the Cowboys defensive scheme, which is bad and players are bad overall there. And maybe he just needs good vibes. Maybe he just needs to be in a good defense. And I think he knows football. Like, I think he's a smart guy. I think there's plenty of off-field issues, but you can say that about a ton of superstars, which I think he is, whether he's playing to that level or not. I think he's a superstar-like player. And hey, if it makes Micah Parsons happy, makes me happy.
Sure.
Be nice. In my opinion, I'm trying to extend him.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. Is it maybe? Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I'm wondering if you want to see him first before you even throw any money at him. Yeah,
for sure. But I can only assume, and again, I don't know how the Cowboys contract situation works. They cut him. He's owed a bunch of money. I don't know what the price would be to extend him then. I can't imagine he and his agent would want to extend.
Right.
There's just no point. Like, I just read his numbers, and the Packers know those numbers, and that's going to be the first, second, third, fourth thing they bring up in negotiations. He's not extending after this. If he goes on a great postseason run, maybe has a game-winning interception for the Packers against the Bears in the first round, then all of a sudden he gets a nice little payday and gets to pick where he gets to go this offseason. So he is very motivated to play extremely well this postseason, which is
It
also
feels like,
very good.
yeah, it feels like he's playing for his next contract.
Has to be, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that we saw with Malik Willis last week. He
Mm-hmm.
played extremely well. We can talk about him next. Like, he's very motivated to show what he can do. Yes, he wants to get the Packers wins, but at some point, it's a business, and he is earning himself a lot of money right now, which is great for him.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, let's talk about that. So Malik Willis is someone on this show has been very positive about.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yes, very.
Since he's come over, honestly, and then we saw him a little bit, then we were more positive about him. I mean, he's sort of creating a rift in the Packers nation right now in terms of how good is Jordan Love. I'm not sure. Maybe we need to see more Malik Willis. I'm not sure. We have been very vocal, just saying like, hey, at least I think he's more talented than Jordan Love, personally.
Yeah, I got attacked for, not online, but living in Green Bay, for saying that I'm not so sure that Malik Willis is the second best quarterback on this team. Like, I don't think he might be the best quarterback on this team.
Yeah, and this has been something we've talked about all season, not just after last game. And then now there's more people saying that after last game, and they're getting attacked. Like, are you stupid? That was one game. What are we talking about? I'll tell you this, man. There's nobody arguing athleticism because that would be dumb. He's obviously more athletic than Jordan Love is what it is, right? A lot of people are. So is Lamar Jackson. So is Joe Milton. Like, that doesn't matter, right? I mean, it matters. It adds another aspect to the game. I think he's more accurate than Jordan Love throwing the football. I think he has better fundamentals. I think he's more consistent. I think he is just as good of a decision maker. I don't really know what Jordan Love does better, I guess. I really don't. He has way better footwork, so he can run under center, which will help the running game as well.
Yeah, in a vacuum, it's hard to distinguish between, or I wouldn't say it's hard to distinguish. You know, like, you look at guys that you wanted a quarterback, and it feels like Malik Willis checks off more boxes than Jordan Love does.
He does, and he was brought in for a reason.
But, you know,
and every time he's thrown in there, Matt LaFleur has a very good game plan because he gets to call plays for him.
Yeah, the difference, right? If we're talking, calling a spade here, the difference between is the contracts, right?
I know, and I understand the whole thought of money talks. The contract tells you the type of player they are, yada yada. A lot of people say he's a backup for a reason. There's been a lot of backups that have become very good quarterbacks. Once upon a time, Patrick Mahomes was a backup too. He was a backup to Alex Smith. I think he's better than Alex Smith. We've seen backups become prominent starters. Russell Wilson did it too. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. And when I bring up Malik Willis this entire year, even before last game and stuff like that, like I was I think Malik Willis is really good. People will talk to me about like, yeah, I think he's a decent quarterback too. And then I'll say he's better than Jordan Love. And people won't even have the conversation with me.
Yeah.
Like they start talking down to me like I don't know what I'm talking about. But no one can give me a reason why they think Jordan Love's better. No one.
Right. Yeah.
Tell me the reason.
No,
he wasn't even drafted ahead of him. Like,
I've had very similar conversations. Yeah.
Like, there's potential. No, potential is just as high, if not higher, with Willis in terms of draft stock, in terms of what people invested, in terms of the type of player he is. There's nothing.
Well, the narrative is now, right, like Willis might be the better quarterback for Matt LaFleur's system, yada yada, all this. And again, I mean, if we're boiling it down, it's probably just because Malik Willis is a better quarterback. But given that Jordan Love makes as much money as he does, and Malik Willis is on a 1-year deal, right? It's hard to say that at the end of the year, like, let's sign Malik Willis, because the Packers are in a window right now, right? We've talked about it since they signed Micah Parsons, where you go and win a Super Bowl. So they're in a window where they probably can't afford to pay a backup quarterback, probably what he's worth, right? You have to fill other positions. You fill in corners. You probably have to fill, defensive tackles, things like that. So now the Packers probably don't bring, like, someone's throwing money at Malik Willis, right, this offseason. So you're heading into next year with, whoever at backup quarterback. We'll just say Clayton Tune right now, right? Because he's the other guy there. I guess they just signed Desmond Ritter, but we'll say Clayton Tune. All of a sudden, Jordan Love, who I mean, has he played a full season in his career? You're missing out on probably if Jordan Love doesn't play, not having Malik Willis, you're missing out on a win or two. And then and it's all. I mean, right? You have to give Malik Willis credit where it is because he's playing for a contract, but he probably ends up with the Jets or somewhere else, right? And all of a sudden, you are worse off than you were. But it's just a weird situation because this thing it feels like these things always happen where a guy plays to the money that he's worth, and the team can't sign him, and then the team is busted because of it.
I
Not that
agree.
not that the Packers are busted if they lose Malik Willis, but it feels like they lose a
Right.
part of the team.
For sure. I mean, Jordan Love keeps getting hurt, whether it's his fault, whether it's the offensive line, whatever it is. Like, you need to have somebody there that you can trust.
What if now I'm talking crazy here, but assuming the Rams go far and Stafford retires, maybe wins the Super Bowl, retires, and then throw some money at Malik Willis.
Maybe Colts need a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Cardinals need a starting quarterback. Dolphins need a starting quarterback. There's plenty of people. There's plenty of teams. Chiefs could need one at the start of the year.
Yeah.
There's plenty. Vikings may need somebody. Who knows? But the Packers could be in a very interesting situation. Let's just say Malik Willis starts this week, plays well again. It's against the Vikings. It'll be certainly a test. This is going to be his biggest test against Brian Flores. Let's just say he performs decent, good. Then the gate to the playoffs. Jordan Love will be quarterback again. He was concussed. He's cleared. He's practicing in full. He'll play. What if Jordan Love has a Jordan Love game? And what does that mean? He has good plays. He has bad plays. Maybe he makes a mistake at the end. They lose the game. Do you trade Jordan Love in the offseason and sign Malik Willis? Because someone will trade for Jordan Love if you want to do it.
Correct. It's an interesting thought, right? It's probably a thought that can't be entertained because, right, then Brian Gutekunst has to lay down his sword and say, "Hey, I was wrong about Jordan Love."
Right.
But yeah, I mean, logically, with taking egos and everything out of it, yes, it would need to be considered.
Well, I mean, going back to what's the new president's name? Can't remember his name now. Policy. Like, his dad did that with the 49ers, traded a quarterback right away.
Yeah.
Steve Young, Joe Montana. He did that right away, year one. And he could be in a very similar situation. It's interesting how, the NFL history is cyclical and repeats itself. You could see that. You could see something similar to that. He's been very clear that he's willing to pull the trigger on big decisions like that and learn how to live with them. But yeah, I think it's very interesting because I think the biggest critique on Jordan Love, and it's not his fault, is the contract, right? If he was getting paid $10 million less, then I would be less critical.
Easier.
Yeah, for sure. You got to play to the standard of how much money you're paid. And is it the Packers' fault? Not really. I mean, it's the Packers' fault they drafted him and put so much into it. But if they didn't pay him that money, somebody would have paid him that money.
Right.
It was just the contract at the time. The way it's structured is a little BS in terms of pro Jordan Love, but someone would have paid him that money. Now the Packers have to live with it because they were the ones who had to do it. But you can back out. You can find a way.
Yeah, there's always a way to get out.
People will trade them. What would you... We'll talk about it more in the offseason. Maybe this situation will become a little bit more clear. But it's like, would you take a third-round pick? Because I would.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I would. I'd be very upset paying a quarterback. It'd be what, $110 million over the 2 years since he signed the contract, and then trade him for a third-round pick, whatever. But yeah,
you're not going to get more though.
Correct.
And just thinking of the teams who would want him, maybe the Colts do it. Colts don't have a first-round pick. Packers obviously don't have a first-round pick. Just getting more draft picks is good.
Is there any thought to, assuming that Jordan Love stays, and he probably is, right? Jordan Love stays the quarterback for, throughout his contract. So on that note, is there any credence to signing Malik Willis, like a sign and trade? I don't know. Obviously the NBA is kind of more known for that, but a sign and trade And then because we know how much Brian Gutekunst loves picks, getting picks for Malik Willis.
I think I have to look at his contract. I think he's an unrestricted free agent.
Yes.
So, okay. So if that's the case, Malik Willis wouldn't do that just because it's going to be the same contract for him either way. And he wouldn't want his next team to be made worse by trading away picks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, if it was restricted or something like that, then it's a different, situation. Randy's right. Jets need a quarterback. That's another one.
Yeah.
Do the Jets do Malik Willis and Justin Fields next year since Fields is still under contract there?
And I don't mean to change the whole conversation, but just talking about Justin Fields, he can't be a quarterback in the NFL. Like, he's got to switch positions, right?
I don't know. He's had success. I think he can be good. He just can't be good with the Jets because he needs to have the perfect situation. And the Jets are the opposite of that.
Yeah, in Justin Fields' defense, he's quarterback the Bears and the Jets over his career. So,
and he looked fine with the Steelers.
Steelers, I guess. Yeah, he was undefeated.
Yeah, he was fine. He just needs to have competency around him. He can't be the guy.
Rams.
He can't. Rams would be interesting. I still would love to see Shanahan break from his mold and use a running quarterback. I think that could be huge. He will never do it. But
another thing, like, nobody's like, I don't know. I guess I haven't looked at the odds lately. Nobody's like really talking about Kyle Shanahan for Coach of the Year, which I get. It's probably going to be Vrabel and Liam Cohen is probably up there, but Shanahan has been quite the job this year.
100%. He deserves it. But yeah, he will not get it. There's no shot. I'm not even sure if the year Vrabel took the Titans to the 1 seed and he had his entire team on IR, did he win Coach of the Year that year?
Oh, I don't know. That might have been like one of those Stefanski years.
Maybe. Yeah. Like usually it doesn't go to the established coach is what it is. I mean, McDonald deserves it too. He's not even zero talking about him.
Right.
And he's a second year coach.
Yeah, I guess they're kind of playing out of it because I guess the Rams have been playing well. They just haven't been winning games like the last 2 weeks. But McVay too should be talked about as well.
There's a lot of really good teams. Why wouldn't you give it to Canales in Carolina?
Right.
Like he deserves it. Fuck it. Like he's done a hell of a job. I think they're very good. I don't know. It's Ben Johnson isn't even really taken that seriously, which is weird.
Right.
I don't know. A lot of candidates this year. It's, I don't know, almost fatigue. People are saying Stafford's not the MVP anymore either, but that's stupid. Okay. So again, Packers are for sure the 7th seed. Right now, they play the Vikings this week. It's in Minnesota. Vikings are 7-point favorites in the game. 35.5 over under.
Vikings are 7-point favorites?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Why? Right? Isn't that crazy?
That seems wrong.
It does, because Vikings are going to play their guys, but they still don't have a quarterback.
I guess, yeah. I assume Packers team on said that they're not playing starters or something along the lines where starters aren't playing a lot. So maybe that has something to do with it.
It has to, but and I don't think they've really announced it yet.
I don't know.
But regardless, I think the Vikings are talented. I think the Vikings defense will come to play and be very good. I still don't trust the Vikings offense to do anything.
Agreed. I also look at I know that they lost, but looking at Malik Willis last week, you're telling me he's a 7-point underdog?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And the offensive line isn't going to get that worse.
Right.
If you put him behind somebody who's not Aaron Banks, not Sean Ryan, not Belton or whatever, possible upgrade. I'm not gonna lie. Those guys stink. But yeah, I don't know, it's very interesting. Defensively, I think is where. Well, even still, if the Vikings win, I think there's points scored. Because
there has to be.
I think the Vikings can move the ball on the Packers defense if they just run the ball.
Yeah, for sure. They just do why wouldn't Minnesota come in and do the exact same game plan that Baltimore did? Throw the ball 10 times and I guess they don't have a Derrick Henry, but just hand it off to Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason the entire game.
Yeah, Jordan Mason. It sounds like Aaron Jones potentially may not play, but Jordan Mason, earn your money at this point. I think Justin Jefferson needs 60-something yards to hit 1,000.
Which is crazy. Feels like he hasn't caught a pass in like the last 2 months.
I know. Looking at his stats, like he's actually hasn't been not as good as he should be, right? But
he's probably looking at it through a fantasy football lens. But
even still, like he feels like Van Jefferson, somebody like that. Like he hasn't caught a pass in years at this point.
Yeah,
but he's been okay. And Randy wants to know, does Justin Jefferson get traded? I can't imagine.
Probably
but
not.
It would be interesting. Would be interesting.
Trade him to Green Bay.
Please. I'm just worried it goes to like Kansas City or something. Injury report for the Packers doesn't mean much, not really. But Jordan Love, again, like I said, he's listed with a left shoulder and a concussion. He was a full participant today. If they want to play him, he will play.
Is this a situation where you throw him out for maybe a drive or two, and if he takes a big hit, he's done for the game?
I think, I don't really want him to be rusty going into the playoffs. So I don't mind treating it like a preseason game. A week 1 preseason game. He gets a drive, gets 2 drives.
Right, because I think that's the last thing you want to do, right? Is you hold him out 2 games, and then you get, first round of the playoffs, and you have Montez Sweat unblocked right at your chest.
I agree. I think that's where I would be. The other scenario or argument would be, why put any risk on him getting hurt and other people? But we talked about it. I'm sure some on this show, for sure on the Flurry Sports podcast, you and me. Packers, just statistically, based on the last 20 Super Bowl winners or whatever, where their week 5 bye was, they had no chance of winning the Super Bowl unless they get a bye week.
Yeah.
Now they kind of do. They can treat week 18 as their bye week, get the rest that they need. They've been playing a lot of football for a lot of weeks in a row. Again, does this make them a contender? I really think the Packers are going to struggle in the playoffs just based on the matchups. But they do get the rest that they need, and it could be huge for them. They could, truly go into week 18 with a base defense. Who gives a fuck? Start game planning for the Chicago Bears, who I can only assume is going to be the matchup, since the Eagles have already said they're sitting all their players.
Yeah.
And Chicago wants to win to have that home field advantage. Plus, Chicago, I think, would want to play Green Bay versus playing potentially the Rams or the 49ers.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Seems like a step down. But yeah, so I would treat it as we're back in the preseason this week. As much rest as possible. I don't hate the thought of playing them for a drive or 2, but get their ass out. Even if they look bad, get them out.
Yeah, I think I think the guy that to rest, right, is probably Josh Jacobs on this offense, because he can't. He doesn't even look like he can run a straight line these last couple of weeks. Right, there's so much of this offense reliant on that run game being strong and Josh Jacobs being the bruiser, that you're gonna need him healthy for cold weather playoff games, man.
Yeah, I'm not even having them do warm-ups.
Right.
Just stay home, do what you got to do. Don't even need to cramp your legs up on the plane.
Yeah, eat some chicken noodle soup and get ready for Chicago.
100%. Go to Chicago. Get there a week early. It does not matter. We just, can't have any wear and tear on Jacobs, because if the Packers are going to win in the playoffs, I can only assume it's a 25-plus touch game for Josh Jacobs. And there's other defensive players, could say the same for as well. We'll do more playoff talk, I assume. But let's just talk about the biggest red flag now for the Packers. And we don't need to recap last game, but we do need to talk about the run defense.
Yeah. Yeah, Derrick Henry had one of his high school stat lines against the Packers last week.
He set the record for the most rushing yards at Lambeau Field.
Yeah. Yeah, 36 carries for 216 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's what he did in high school.
Yeah. Whenever you have an opponent set a home stadium record, not good. It does feel weird that the Packers have 2 records set this year. It's that and a substitute teacher setting the longest field goal in Packers history. Interesting season. But yeah, Derrick Henry, 4 touchdowns, did whatever he wanted to do. And I guess my biggest issue, and it goes back to the cornerback thing, it goes back to the offensive line thing. This isn't a surprise.
Right. And
We
it's hard to say that it's like it's not hard to say because you're NFL players, you game plan to stop the run, right? On defense. Again,
Yep.
you're playing against Derrick Henry, so cut a little slack there, whatever. We know what
Yep.
happens when Derrick Henry runs the ball in December. But I mean, 36 carry, like I get again, it's Derrick Henry, but someone just like all you got to do is just dive at the ground and he's down.
In the summer when we did game by game predictions, we said, "Oh shit, our one
Yeah.
December Lambeau games against Derrick Henry and the Ravens, like we know what's going to happen. That's a disaster. That sucks." So I hate that. But also, I mean, we talked about this roster construction. The Packers aren't built to stop the run, which is very alarming in the NFC North. It's
Hmm.
very alarming in the NFC. I'm just looking at the Packers linebackers. Quay Walker's 241 pounds. Edgerrin Cooper's 230 pounds. And Isaiah McDuffie's 227 pounds. Derrick Henry's 247. He outweighs
Hmm.
them all. Not going to win that way.
Right.
Plus, then you can throw in his 300-pound fullback. You can talk about the offensive line. We also had, we had Kingsley Enagbare, who maybe is 250. Van Ness lined up at D tackle a bunch. That's a big thing. So, like, I just don't think the Packers base defense is a nickel defense too. Packers aren't built to stop the run, which is alarming when, okay, the Packers now road to the Super Bowl is all on the road because we have the 7 seed. We will have to face any combination of San Francisco, which we've played this game before, the Bears, who run the ball, the Eagles, who are going to run the ball down our throat, the Panthers probably, who did run the ball down our throat this year, and then Seahawks can run the ball. That's what they want to do most. The Rams love to run the ball. Like, it's like, okay, it feels like we get like, oh, I didn't feel like we were going to run into this type of team. I don't understand it. We dodged the Lions this year.
Right,
we somehow
true.
escaped the Lions, and they're the team that runs the football ground and pound. We didn't even gear up to win the division, really.
As the NFL has kind of transitioned back from, a spread, quick pass offense more to kind of that outside stretch run, it feels like the Packers are like 5 years behind. And now they're finally game planning for that, stretch the
Yep.
field, quick pass defense.
We talked about it. We talked about it during draft season. They are always behind. They did this exact thing. That's why we're like, okay, maybe we get another bigger linebacker later round. Maybe we for sure improve our interior defensive line. And the Packers said, no, instead of improving our interior defensive line, let's actually make it worse. And again, we got Micah Parsons out of the deal. That's a sweet deal. I'm not saying that was the wrong move to make. But we for sure, and we said it at the exact time the trade happened, we sacrificed run defense for the playmaker, which worked because he ended games. Micah Parsons ends games. But if you're trading Micah Parsons for Kenny Clark, I do think your run defense gets worse.
Yeah, right. And I mentioned it off the top, like when we talked with her. This is a trade you make 10 times out of 10. Of course, you bring a top 5 player on the team, you put him there. It's interesting, but you don't when that happens, you don't anticipate a Devontae Wyatt going down with a season-ending injury, which nobody's talking about. That's been like incredibly huge for this defense.
Massive.
There's been injuries to linebackers. There's been inconsistent play to linebackers. They've been we talked about it when all 3 pass rushers were healthy. Micah Parsons, I guess you can call Rashawn Gary a pass rusher at this point. I don't know. And
I'm not
Lucas
even calling him to show up to the game after the Derrick Henry performance.
Yeah, and then Lucas Van Ness, like we saw a little bit right where you line up Lucas Van Ness over guard, you line up Micah Parsons over center and just bull rush him. They ran a little bit of that last week with Lucas Van Ness over center. But I mean he's that's just a double team and he's out of the play. He's not wide enough to stop it, which kind of scares me because that feels like it's the only option right now. I know they signed Jonathan Ford off the Bears practice squad, which it is what it is. But if we're putting our best 11 out there, it's probably Enagbare and Gary on the outside and Van Ness, down the middle. And again, that's just a double team away from a gaping hole up the middle.
Yeah. But to be completely honest, minus Rashawn Gary, who again, I think he fully regressed back to just not knowing how to stop the run. Like he crashed inside and was just bad. I think the defensive line did for the most part what they needed to do. But when Van Ness eats up a double team in the middle and, can't make the play himself, which is his job, that's what he's supposed to do.
Right.
The linebackers have to fill.
Correct.
And Quay Walker always over pursues and takes bad angles. Edgerrin Cooper, you've brought up multiple times during the year, has seemingly fully regressed with his like first, second step, like his reading of like the running game. Like he's not very good. And then Isaiah McDuffie is just way too small to defend the run.
Yeah, and I think probably Evan Williams being out hurts a little bit for him to cheat up, and play a little
For
bit,
sure.
which feels like Javon Bullard can do that, but I guess he just doesn't. I don't
He
know.
feels not fully the same since he got hurt either.
Right.
But he's been great in the box this year as well.
Yeah.
Though. I fully agree. He should be playing at the line of scrimmage more often than not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, I don't know.
And it sucks.
We said this last year as well, though, and we've said this for the entirety of Aaron Rodgers' final decade. We know what the Packers need to fix on defense.
Yeah.
We'll see if they do that in the offseason. Like going into the draft, we know what needs to be fixed on defense. Going into free agency, we know what needs to be fixed. We need to stop the run, and we need cornerbacks.
Yep.
We fully ignored it last year.
Yep. And I know, right, there's one more game, but I mean, there's no, again, injuries suck. You don't plan for injuries, but there's no more fucking around anymore, man. Like, I know next week's not a playoff game, but playoffs are coming very, very shortly. Like, what do you, if you're going to, you're not playing starters, what are you really fully getting out of this week 18 game?
Yeah.
So you would have to imagine that the week 18 game against probably the Bears looks, that defense looks pretty similar to what we saw against the Ravens.
I'm very curious to how the Packers play this game against the Vikings, because the Vikings are a nightmare week 18 pull, right? They're very aggressive.
Thank God they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. But even still, I mean, we talked about this with the Denver game. Our one goal this week is to come out of it healthy.
Yep.
That's it. Even if we don't play our starters, we're playing our rotational guys. We have to.
Correct.
It's a 53-man roster. There's only so many places to turn. So we're playing our special teams guys. We're playing our rotational guys. And if they get hurt, I mean, the depth is just gone. And if the depth is gone, I mean, there isn't much depth anyways, but there's still key players playing in this game, regardless if we say, hey, we're sitting starters or not. These guys are still very much needed to stay healthy and to step up during wild card weekends. So again, the only goal, it's great to beat the Vikings. I hate the Vikings.
Yep.
But shit, we need to be healthy coming out of this. Take a knee every time on offense if we need to. It doesn't matter.
Like, this offensive game plan, and I hate because I like Chris Brooks, but it feels like hand the ball to Chris Brooks 36 times.
Yeah. Yeah. And this also is fully not fair to Malik Willis.
Right.
If I'm Malik Willis, I'm saying, you know what? I've done what I needed to do. I've proven what I need to do to earn my money. I'm not going against Brian Flores' defense, who blitzes the most in the league behind a backup offensive line with proper backup receivers and just get killed. Screw that.
Yeah. And so, right, we've been saying that it's been, right, stop the run, get cornerbacks in the offseason. And the one other thing has been, get a good receiver. It was kind of symbolic last week that the interception came on our emergency quarterback throwing it off our cornerback's hands on offense.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't
like Bo Melton. I think Bo Melton's a good football player, but
I do too. Let's have him pick a position and play him there.
Right.
Because if you flip him back and forth, I thought Demarius Randall was a decent football player too, but when we keep moving him back and forth, like it just makes everything worse. He's not going to be good at either position then.
Yeah.
I think the same thing with Travis Hunter, and he's a once in a lifetime player, I've been told. So I don't know. Packers here's the thing. We've been negative towards the Packers. There's a lot of things Packers need to fix. I think there's holes all over this football team. With that being said, there isn't a better first round matchup than to pull the Bears.
Correct. That's what I want.
I know. How sweet would it be if I'm the Bears too, by the way? I'm saying, please, Eagles, try. We're going to intentionally lose, because what is funnier than this Packers team going to Chicago and beating that Bears team?
They almost did it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is nothing funnier than that. And we'll give our predictions for that game next week. I'm probably picking the Packers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
whether it's just because of vibes, whether it's my head or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Fuck it, man. There's no funnier situation than that Bears team and those Bears fans being like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Like,
I get
this year when everything has gone right, we still can't do it.
Yeah, and I don't want to jump the gun on it because there's still a game ahead of us, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to play the Eagle. Like we've been the last
No.
3 times we've played the Eagles, they've just ran the fuck all over the Packers.
And we've seen San Francisco in the playoffs before.
Yeah.
No, thank you. We've seen Seattle in the playoffs before. No, thank you.
Why can't Dallas be in the playoffs? That'd be nice.
I know. We need a win. We need
Right.
something. But yeah, screw that. I don't want to play the Panthers. Truly, of all the teams in the NFC, I mean, the Bears are the team that
It's the best draw
match up for sure. So
Yeah.
Thank you, Chicago. Thank you, football gods. And we'll see you in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see the crowd. How much Green Bay fans? It's got to be close to 50-50.
Yeah. Yeah, probably for sure. I think so let's assume the Panthers win this week, you get in the playoffs, right? They're probably the better team than Tampa right now. I think if you're ranking all 7 teams in the NFC, I think Chicago's probably 7th. Right?
I think the Packers are the worst team.
Maybe.
But because I think Chicago is one of the best offensive lines in football. But in terms of like power rankings, including matchups and stuff, like I'm telling you, like Chicago wants no part in game 3 versus Green Bay. They're fine with the split. We split them. That's a win. We already celebrated. Caleb Williams ran around town with a cheese grater on his head.
This season's a success for them already.
It is, unless there's a part 3.
Correct.
If they beat the Packers, Ben Johnson's the guy. No, they don't need to go to the Super Bowl. There's nothing wrong. If they lose part 3 against Green Bay, burn it down.
It's reminiscent of, and I'm going to say this as a North Carolina fan, it's reminiscent of Carolina Duke and Coach K's last year, where they split in the regular season. And they met in the Final Four with Carolina as an 8 seed, and Coach K did not want to meet Carolina. No,
it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah.
Packers, Bears, obviously they split. Doesn't matter. Like, okay, it's a wash. They know everything about each other. Coaches dislike each other. Basically, everyone. It's going to be a great first round matchup for the NFL. Like, there's going to be fights.
Huge.
It's going to be great for fans. It's going to be awesome. So I'm excited for that. We have to get past Minnesota. Fast forward this fucking game. Let's go running clock, high school football style.
Correct.
And go home. So I guess if we want to give a prediction, I'll go Packers win 17-10. Like, just get out of there.
Yeah, like 7-3 almost.
Yeah, who cares?
Like, this is the most inconsequential game of if the week. Well, saying this as Packer fans, right? There's bias and we don't want anyone to get hurt. But really, it feels like the most inconsequential game of the week. There's no reason to play this game. There's no stakes. There's nothing at risk. To your point, maybe the only guy who has some stakes in this in Malik Willis say, "Hey, look what I can do. I want to get paid somewhere." It feels like he's already done that, So yeah, I agree with you. Like, just let's fast forward a week.
I agree, and maybe Brian Flores has something to prove. Like, maybe he gets some head coaching interviews.
Yeah,
but like O'Connell has nothing because it's like he doesn't have his quarterback in there. Who cares?
Right.
Justin Jefferson has something to play for, so he gets 1,000 yards. Maybe Aaron Jones feels good to play against them and rides off into the sunset one last game against the Packers. I don't know, but there really is very little stakes. No one's watching this game.
Right. Yeah, no one outside Packer fans and Viking fans.
No, so don't lose your fucking team to a game no one's watching.
Right.
Anything else before we get out of here?
No, I got a question for you though. That I heard some TikTok about ghosts. Do you know the rules on ghosts? Like, are they allowed to leave their house or whatever, wherever they're haunting?
It feels like they can't, right? I don't know what the rules are.
Oh, why not?
No, I don't know. It feels like they are bound to where it's not necessarily where they died though either, right?
Right.
There must be a radius. I don't
Like an
know.
electric fence kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure. It's a zone defense. They have to stay in the zone.
Because like when you watch like scary movies or like Conjuring or any of those kind of movies, it feels like when they get out of the house, they're like, all right, we're kind of safe now, right? You're not in the house. Why can't the ghost just go outside?
I don't know. It must be. I mean, maybe they're like fish, and then they get out of their gills need them to stay in
They
that.
can't breathe well.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, can't die twice.
All right.
What's there to live for?
Yeah. I don't know.
But then, I mean, they're just dreaming for a chance to be like, Jason or Freddy, where they can just follow you.
I get right. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe they need to move a certain like distance. You have to have a physical being.
So like let's say you go to a haunted house or you go to a house that's haunted and the ghost is like tormenting you or whatever. I'm like, all right, I'm getting out of here. You pack your
Yeah,
suitcase. What if can the ghost like go into the suitcase and follow you?
I don't think so. Unless it's like possessing a specific. Again, I think it's if it's possessing a specific physical thing, like a doll or something,
Okay.
then it's in that doll. But if it's just a ghost in a building, there's no physical presence, so it has to, it's just bouncing around in there like Pong or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know. You know what? This off season we'll do more research into that.
Yeah.
This show, we want to do more off season stuff. I think than last year. We'll do more free agency stuff, more draft stuff, and maybe there's a ghost hunter special. I don't know.
Halloween movies like blow the doors off of Christmas movies, right?
Yes.
Not even close.
No, I think. I mean, I guess I'm kind of a Grinch in a way. I don't dislike Christmas, but Christmas media, movies, music, is just objectively bad.
Yeah, agreed.
And I mean, scary movies are great. They don't need to be like good acting. They just need to be like Terrifier and stuff like that. There isn't necessarily great acting in it, but it's a great
Right.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't want to be like a music prick, but like people who say their favorite music is Christmas music, like do they even like listen to music?
No. It's the most basic, dumb like lyrics
Right.
over just like a couple chords. It's not good.
Yeah.
Unless it's Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney, which is
Yeah, it's
possibly
good.
the
Good
most
tune.
disturbed. It's disturbed, but
Yeah.
it's great.
It's good
great.
tune.
Great tune. Beach Boys, good Christmas song too.
Yes. Yes.
But overall, I mean, yeah, it's not good. I'm trying to think of Halloween music though. There's Monster Mash. That's a banger.
Love the Monster Mash. I put that on like at Touch Tunes like in the summer at bars.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
That's truly whenever I hear it, that's one of those songs where like it sets the mood. I feel like
Right.
it's like now it's Halloween. I think my two fall songs would be that and 30 Point Book.
Oh
Is that played
yeah.
by you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know what another one would be. But yeah, it's those two.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, Christmas movies stink. They're not good.
Yeah, not many good ones. Office Christmas Party is a good one.
Haven't seen it.
It's pretty good with Jason Bateman. Jimmy Butler's in it. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. We will be back next week discussing the Packers playoff matchup. Trevor will be back. And if you're watching this live, if you're watching this after the fact, tomorrow on the Flurry Sports YouTube channel, we will have a fantasy football show. So come, tune in, please subscribe, comment all to your heart's desires. We'll read all of them, respond to them. If you have a prediction for the Packers, whether it be this week or for the playoffs, please comment it down below, and we'll see you soon.